Hey YouTube, Fired Up Prepper here with another What If video. What if you woke up today or tomorrow and let's say you have a daily routine on the way to work or maybe starting your day at home, whatever, with a Starbucks coffee. What if you woke up tomorrow and you couldn't get your Starbucks anymore? Cold turkey, no more Starbucks. How would that affect your day, your life going forward? Think it'd be an issue? You think it wouldn't be an issue? What if you're a smoker? You get up in the morning, you got one cigarette left in the cigarette pack, you smoke that cigarette, and all of a sudden you find out you can't get no more cigarettes. Cold turkey, quit. You cannot get any more cigarettes. Now you may be able to go out and bum some somewhere, you know, from people, but hey, if they're finding out the same thing that you are, they're not going to be giving those cigarettes up. They ain't going to want to be without. What if you woke up tomorrow and your hot water didn't work? Your hot water heater. Whether you've got an electric water heater or a gas tank heater. What if you had to take a cold, cool shower? How would that affect your life? How would it affect your attitude? How would it affect the way that you make it in the world? What if you get home from work and you like to have a cold beer or a cold drink? You can't have it no more. Maybe you've got a couple cases laying around you hadn't put in the fridge yet. Well, you can't put them in the fridge now because electricity's not working. What if you can't even have a cold drink of water if your tap water's not working? What if you failed to plan? You didn't have any food in your house. You had, you know, the normal 2 or 3 day food supply that people normally have in their fridge and their pantry at home. What if you hadn't stored any water, either in, you know, rain catchment or big barrels or small barrels or cases of water or jugs of water? What if you didn't prepare and something really happened? What if? Those are questions you need to ask yourself when you, whether you're new to prepping or you haven't prepped at all, and you're just watching this thing, and all these people are crazy. Nothing's ever going to happen. Well, a lot of Americans think that way. There's a political side that believes that the people that think that way are part of the problem. That we're actually considered terrorists because of our views and our prepping. Being a Christian, it'll get you put on a list. What if you got up tomorrow and someone knocked on the door and said, "We're coming in your house to take all your Bibles. You can't read this Bible no more." What if you didn't have any Bibles hid? What if you get a knock on the door, more like a bang? You look out the peephole. There's like a SWAT truck out there. There's 3 or 4 guys, fully armed, fully armored. And they say, "We're here for your guns. You're on the list. You've purchased guns. Every single gun that's on this list you need to account for." Your ammunition. We're going to take your ammunition. How about this? What if semi-truck pulls up in your road outside, box truck, whatever, several armed people come to your door, say, we're here for your food storage. We know you have food stored. We need to confiscate your food. We're going to take everybody's food, put it together for everybody. What if some military vehicles, UN, let's say UN military vehicles, pull up in your neighborhood, knock on your door, you look out, they're going door to door, taking people out to the trucks, taking you to a FEMA camp, taking you somewhere. What if? Is it too far-fetched to believe? You think it never could happen in America? Here's what I would ask you to do. I would ask you to look at where our country was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Look where our country is now, the things that are going, the way people are talking. What's happening with politics and our government. You know, what things are they pushing for? What's important to them now? Is it taking care of the vets? Is it feeding the homeless, finding homes for the homeless, clothing the homeless, fighting abortion? Or is it more worried about what bathroom someone should use? Allowing how many thousands of refugees we should allow into each major city, or that they should plant into each major city. What are they talking about now? What's going on in the world? Is there just a hijacking every 10 years or 20 years like there used to be? You know, a hijacking every now and then? You know, maybe a natural disaster? Or do you see more terrorism events where one or multiple shooters are just going around killing people? What are you seeing compared to 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago? Any rational person that looks at where we are today compared to where we were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, you can't say, oh, these things have always happened. It has never happened before, the type of terrorism that we're seeing. Police shootings. Targeting police. Targeting white people. Targeting black people. Targeting Mexicans. What are you hearing about in the world in national, global news? You hearing everything's fine and dandy, or are you hearing there's some real problems in certain areas that have been going on for a while, but there's nobody with a real plan to finish what's happening? Are you hearing talks about nuclear attacks? Are you hearing talks about EMPs, electrical magnetic pulse, whether it's from the sun, from a natural, sun flare or something like that, or if it's another country like North Korea putting satellites up and that thing's flying over the United States twice a day. Supposedly, your government doesn't know what their function is because they're not receiving any signals or anything from them. But they continue to let them be up there. What if it was a nuclear bomb, nuclear warhead or something that could be detonated over the United States that would cause an EMP and knock out our electrical grid? Experts say, not just crazy preppers, experts say that if an EMP or two were to go off over the United States and our electrical grid went out, that 95% of the people in the United States would be dead within a year. Through what? Through starvation, through disease, through lack of electricity and refrigeration for medical, violence, murdering, pillaging, raping. That's all I ask you to do, is look and see where we are today, what the talk is about compared to where it was 5, 10, 15, and 20 years ago. I'll guarantee you there's no way, if you're an honest person, that you can say, oh, it's the same thing, it's been going on for... No, it's not. So what if that was the story and that was the scenario, and you come across a video like this and there's a guy saying, what if? Would it get you to thinking a little bit? Would it get you to start watching some more videos? Would it get you to start thinking about, okay, what would happen if electricity went out? Fresh water isn't running in your pipes. Grocery stores don't have any food. They can't get any food. Would it get you to start putting away some water, putting away some food, having a plan? Would it get you purchasing a couple firearms and learning how to use them proficiently? Stockpiling ammunition? Would it get you to start learning some survival techniques? Let's say you had to leave your home. What if you had to leave your home? You're in an urban area and it's just not safe. I mean, house by house is being taken over and the people are being plundered and killed. And you say, you know what, we need to get out of here. Would it get you to prepare a place away from your home? Would it get you to put a bug out bag together that you can grab and go? Let's say it was an EMP that happened and your car doesn't run. Because all the cars that have, computer chips and things like that, they're going to be fried. They're not going to run. So unless you have an older vehicle purposely for this type of situation, you're either going to have to hoof it on your own 2 feet, maybe get you a pedal bike, get you a mountain bike, equip it, max it out to the whatever you can do to help you carry what you need to take with you. Find out how to pull a little cart or something behind it. Baskets. But you need to have a plan. You're going to stay there and just protect your fortress in the city and maybe get overrun and killed? Or are you going to get out and go out in the middle of nowhere somewhere and just try and make it happen until things settle down? A lot of people are thinking about doing that, but a lot of people just aren't doing the proper planning, the proper studying. They're not getting the knowledge. They're not getting the skills. It's just going to be willy-nilly. Most people aren't going to go backcountry, side roads to get away. They're going to be on main thoroughfares. Why is that a bad thing? Because that's where everybody else is. Someone sees you with a backpack, they know that there's something in there they can use and need. And at that point, let me tell you, human life, you think the value of human life is low now? You wait till something like that happens and human life value goes down to nil, to zero, to nothing. People walk up and shoot you and not even have a word with you and take your bag. Take what you got. They don't care. They're not to make friends. They're trying to survive. Let me ask you another question. What if it came to the point where that's what you had to do? Some pretty strong questions. Not to be a fearmonger or nothing, but I want people to think. I want you to think about, does this really make sense? Do these things really happen? What if it was an economic collapse and you go to the bank one day, the bank is closed, you go to the ATM doesn't work? What good is all your money in your checking and your savings account at that point? What good is all your money in the stock market at that point? What good is the money in your 401k at that point? You have to be liquid outside of all of those things. You think your grandma and grandpa's back in the day? You think your grandma and grandpa's back in the day putting money in jars out in the yard, under the beds, all that was stupid? Now the thing is, if that money ends up being, if that money's worthless at that point, then I guess it doesn't matter. But at some point it may be again. That's another good reason to what? Start storing some precious metals. Put some silver away, some silver coins, dollars, whatever. I mean, make it work for yourself. Get some information, find out what works best for you and do it. Bartering. Let's go back to the cigarette thing and the stuff like that. What if you bought a couple cases of cigarettes and were able to store them in a place where they would last, and then all of a sudden SHTF happens and no one can get cigarettes, but here you're sitting on 2, 3, 4, 10 cases of cigarettes or alcohol or whatever it is, medical supplies, even food. Food is going to be like gold. Can be all bartering tools for what you need. Think about those things. Look, you don't go out and spend what you don't have. You don't go out and spend, you don't have to have thousands or millions of dollars to start prepping. You say, where am I now? How can I get to 3 days worth of survival? Food and water, bug out bags put together, medical bags put together. That's something that a lot of people don't think about in their prepping when they're getting started. Is you need to have medical bags, ointments, gauze, Band-Aids, wraps, just alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, all that type stuff. You need to have all those things. The dollar stores are a great place to pick some of those things up. I've spent $30, $40 at a time several times, and I've got 2 full ammo cans, plastic ammo cans from Cabela's that are medical kits. I've got 2 of them, and I've got stuff in my daily bag, in my day bag. I've got stuff in my bug out bag. So make sure you're getting your medical stuff together, because there ain't going to be no treatment at the hospital if the electricity's out. You just got to think about those things. Calling in the National Guard, calling in the police, and all those things, that's going to be a thing of the past, okay? Because along with a serious SHTF is going to become WROL, without rule of law. A lot of people are saying we're without rule of law right now for the simple fact that there's a different level. If me and you as citizens, as civilian citizens, we're not civilians, as citizens are the only ones that are being held to being a law-abiding, but your higher-ups, like government officials and things like that, are not, then that's without rule of law, because you can't have one group that's being held to it and then the other group that's not. Everybody has to be held, no matter what level those infringements are on, whether it's speeding tickets or stealing or looting or arson or whatever, or if you're giving away government secrets and security and blah, 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 things like that. Everybody has to be responsible for upholding the law and being law-abiding. Just ask yourself some of those questions. What if? And just get started. Don't be left empty-handed with your head in the sand, It happens tomorrow, it happens today. What if you just went out today and got a couple cases of water, a couple jugs of water, and some food and stuff, then all of a sudden something happened tomorrow? Well, you know what? You might be able to get through the first 3 days then. But if you just think about it and you don't do anything, something happens, guess what? You're going to be hurting right from the start. It's going to be survival mode. The 3 days is going to go pretty quick, so you're going to have to be doing what you can in those 3 days to get some things too. But you know, you want to get up to that month and several months and possibly a year to be able to, hopefully things can get back together or some kind of commerce would open up. But what if not? There's people that say if it was an EMP and everything got knocked out, the electrical grid, it could be years before it got totally up again. Are there people that have generators? Yes, but generators, unless they're going to be solar generators, unless the sun goes out, if it's a gas or diesel generator, guess what? Your fuel's going to run out. Then your generator is worthless. It's not worth a dime at that point. So, are you going to store fuel? You're going to store a way to cook, like, you know, butane, not butane, but gas or whatever, you know, for your gas grills. Store charcoal, store lighter fluid. It's a lot to think about. Just do it. Just get started and learn as you go. Act like it's happening tomorrow. Go get something today. Go get something today. Boost the economy a little bit. Spend a little bit of money on food and water today. Medical supplies. I mean, you'll be amazed. And make sure you buy stuff that is not perishable. Buy canned foods, canned meats, chickens, tuna, Spam. I've got all that in there in my supply. You can go to Sam's and buy cases of, you know, the 9 or 12 pack cases of corn and beans and things like that. So just get started. You can get cases of water for under $4. You can buy the big blue 5-gallon jugs of water for like under $5. So just get started. You go out and spend $50 or $100 a day, you're going to have a good little start. You're going to get through that first 3 days to a week. And it'll feel good. You'll know that it's there. So, got to ask yourself some what-if questions. Especially if you're a smoker. Boy, what's going to happen if you had to quit cold turkey? Been there and done it. I was a smoker for many years. Quit a couple times here and there. And haven't had a cigarette now for, I'm wanting to say, 8 years. Not a day goes by I don't see someone smoking. I think I should pick one up and go. But when you make that decision of why you want to quit, that's when you'll quit. And what hit me was all my grandchildren. My oldest grandchild will be 8 or 9 this year. However long that is, that's how long I quit, because I didn't want to have to explain to him when I'm in a hospital bed with cancer. Not saying it still couldn't happen, but I didn't want to explain to him and have him ask me, Grandpa, why was smoking more important than having time with me? That's exactly how it came to me. I was done, flat out done. Now I've got 5 grandboys. I wouldn't want them coming up to me saying, Grandpa, why was smoking or why was drinking more important than spending time being here for us? So when you come up with that why and you come up with that reason, you can get rid of some of those habits. It ain't easy. But once you make up your mind and it's done, you're done. Then you try and put in new habits, new, better habits. You might gain some weight after you quit smoking if you don't start working out right away or walking. Because what happens? You're wanting to do something with your hand, you're eating, stuff like that, you're needing that comfort, whatever. Just got to be ready for that. You got to be smart enough to know that that's part of it. But if you're not planning on quitting, then make sure you're not going to be going crazy when something happens and you can't get no more. You better buy cases, cartons of cigarettes and figure out how to store them to where they don't go bad right away. I don't know how long a carton of cigarettes or an unopened pack of cigarettes lasts. I don't know if it's a year, 2 years, 5 years, however long. But you better get you some. If you don't want to be in a tight spot, you better back up some liquor. If you like to have a drink every day, you better get you some liquor stored up. And like I said, all those things can actually be bartering items too. Let's say you got 100 cartons of cigarettes and 100 bottles of liquor. You know, you can probably trade a few for things that you need that maybe you didn't think of or that you're running out of. So, you know, it's not a crazy thing. Just be ready. Be prepared. Don't be scared. Be prepared. You need to be scared if you don't prepare, though, because you're going to get stuck out there, and then what are you going to do? Run to the church? And here's what I always say. Be an asset, not a burden, not a liability. Be part of the solution, not part of the problem. If you're part of the problem, it means you're not going to get ready. You're not going to prepare. And then you're going to rely on the government. The government ain't coming. They might come and get you to take you somewhere, but they ain't going to come be handing stuff out to you. A lot of people think they are. A lot of people are going to be uprising because the government ain't coming to take care of them. Well, you know what? You had a lot of time to get smart and know that. No excuses. Ignorance is not bliss, and it's not an excuse. There's too much information out there today. Too much information out there today that you shouldn't prepare. You need to prepare. What else? You know, build whatever relationships and ties that you can with people. I've put this in other videos of different skill levels of you and things like that. So, you know, they might have to call on you for something. You might have to call on them for something. Can't let everybody know what you got, because someone's family starts starving. They know you got it. Friends or no friends, family or no family, guess what? They're coming. They're coming. So you need to be ready to help out your friends and family, your church people, stuff like that. Try and get your church to do something. Try and get your church to stockpile and prep and get ready. That's a big deal. Those are communities. Those are whole communities that should be coming together. But on a personal level, your stuff is your stuff. You're going to help who you choose to help. And the ones you don't want to help, you got to be able to get rid of them. You need to have a little something to give to them, have it ready, or you need to forcibly get rid of them. What else? Today is Saturday morning, July. What is today? July 20. Isn't that terrible of me? Today is July, I don't know, 22nd maybe, 23rd, 2016. Not saying something's going to happen tomorrow, not saying it's going to happen 30 days or in the next minute. There's been lots of happenings lately on the news, police shootings, killings, all kinds of different things going on. And this morning already there's news of different things that are going on, bombs and people, like 9 or 10 people killed in one area, 30 people killed, 300, whatever. It's all over the world. Don't think that it can't come to your neighborhood, to your city, because it can. And this isn't about being a fearmonger. It's not about making you afraid. It's about getting you to think about taking care of you and yours, getting ready. There we go. Fired Up Prepper. It's a long video, but an important video. Comes from the heart. Comes from me wanting to help you open up your mind and just say, hey, what if? What if today I couldn't get my Starbucks? What if I couldn't smoke another cigarette? What if I couldn't get across town because I didn't fill up my gas tank? Or what if my car's not even running? How am I going to get somewhere? How am I going to get in touch with my family? That's another thing, communications. ham radios, whatever, Faraday cages. You need to have all that information. You can't do it all at once, but you need to be proactive in figuring these things out. Always get down below, comment on the video, like the video, share the video, and most importantly, to stay in touch with Fired Up Prepper and get my new information that I'm bringing out, subscribe to the channel. And always open for suggestions. If you have any questions for me, feel free to ask. Keep it clean. Keep it positive. I don't know everything, not by a long shot. Been prepping for about 3 years now, and I learn every day, and I listen and watch other people every day. I've already watched 3 videos today from one of my favorite guys, homesteaders up in the Ozarks, Viking Preparedness, Pastor Joe Fox. So, you know, you got to keep your mind fresh, keep new ideas coming in, and stay prepared. So anyway, see you on the next video. Stay fired up, stay focused, keep on prepping. Fired up.